How's it going? I like to play RuneScape and talk about TV shows and video games. So today, we're going to learn how to prepare human flesh. Alright, before we start, I think it's prompt that we have a quick history of cannibalism, some common misconceptions, and of course, the choice of cut that we're going to be preparing today. So, cannibalism. One of the oldest taboos in human history, but it's also something that appears again and again, usually in extreme situations. And one big misconception, that not all cannibalism is the same. Alright, let me explain. Some accounts were actually exaggerated, and some were tied to ritualistic practices, and many happened during extreme survival situations. Take the Aztec Empire, for example. People often imagine the Aztecs constantly eating people like some ancient horror movie, but a lot of that imagery comes from exaggerated Spanish colonial accounts. Now, to be clear, cannibalism and human sacrifice did exist in parts of Aztec religious practices, but historians still debate the scale and meaning of it. Older theories claiming the Aztecs relied on cannibalism for protein are mostly rejected today, since they already had access to beans, fish, turkey, and other food sources. Now, let's look at survival cannibalism. One of the most cited examples comes from the Jamestown starving time. Early English settlers, trapped by winter and lack of supplies, resorted to cannibalism to survive. For a long time, people debated whether those accounts were exaggerated or not, but with forensic analysis examining the cut marks left on the remains, all evidence points to cannibalism. Another well-known case is the Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571 crash. A plane crash in the Andes Mountain left survivors stranded for over 2 months, with no food and no rescue in sight. They made a decision to eat those who had already died. There's a movie that shows the emotional toll it takes on a human person to do such a thing, but not every case is survival. In places like Fiji, cannibalism existed historically as a part of warfare and rituals. Enemies were sometimes consumed as a display of dominance or spiritual belief. And then, there's the modern perception, shaped heavily by criminals like Jeffrey Dahmer. Cases like this make cannibalism seem purely monstrous and cruel, but historically, that's the exception and not the rule. Alright, now that's out of the way, let's move on to our specific cut. Here are some diagrams I found on the Reddit. I got it off of Reddit. Who else is not surprised by that? So which cut are we choosing today? Well, over the course of the show, Hannibal prepares various delicious looking dishes from all parts of the body. The lungs, the thigh, tongue, and heart. He makes it feel tough to just pick only one. But after some debate and thought, we will choose the back, specifically the long loin section, so he can cook it up and serve it like the pig loin dish that was in the second episode of Hannibal. Let's get started. Hold on. Are you seriously going to continue watching the rest of this video without being subscribed like the rest of my viewers? Please go smash that like and subscribe, and I'll stop pestering you. Back to the video. The main part of this dish is going to be the Cumberland sauce that we're going to be making and putting over the pork loin that we right now have cooking inside the oven. And to make this sauce, we're going to need an orange, a lemon, a cup of granulated white sugar, a cup of cold water, 2 cups of homemade or store-bought jelly. We have raspberry seedless jelly here, and 2 teaspoons of ruby port. We don't have ruby port, so I'm going to be substituting in some red wine. And last but not least, some cinnamon sticks. All right, let's get started. Okay, starting off, we're going to be peeling our lemon and oranges into strips. Let's see how this works out. The recipe doesn't say how many strips I'm supposed to peel off, and it's telling me I got to remove the pith, which is this white part, but I feel like I've peeled so well, and see, I don't even need to do that. So these are ready to be tossed in the cold water. Oh, the lemon strips you can really smell. Very fragrant. Okay, it says add the sugar and place over high heat. And when it comes to a boil, we're supposed to strain this. That should be interesting. And add the sugar. See, that's a lot of sugar to add. All right, it's on high heat. I should get a strainer ready because it says once this starts boiling, I need to strain it. Okay, it is boiling, which means it is time to strain. A little bit of sugar water getting everywhere. There they are, strained and done. I gotta tell you, they smell pretty nice. Okay, so for the second half, we have our cinnamon stick, red jelly, and the red wine that we have substituted in. Okay, my phone did the thing where it stopped working because it overheated, but man, I wish you guys could have smell-o-vision like this. Oh, that smells amazing. Like, I'm very excited to put that over the pork loin. I'm sorry, the pork loin, and see what happens, see how it tastes. The meat's in there, sauce in there, green beans there. Hopefully, but when I snap my fingers, it'll be a very nice plated meal in front of me. All right. Look at that. Everything perfectly plated. And I know it looks a little plain now, but watch the finishing touches. You know, I'm gonna be honest, not as deep red as I would like, but I like the color. And of course, this wouldn't be Hannibal without a glass of wine. It smells amazing, I will admit. The hardest part about making all this was the sauce, as that required 2 different saucepans, but now everything's cooled down and it looks pretty darn good. I do feel like I picked a good wine for this. All right, let's give it a try. That's really good. This was a great dish to cook, and it honestly wasn't even that hard to make. If I were to redo this, I would put more wine and let the sauce simmer more to try to get that deeper and richer red. I think if Hannibal presented me with the dish, I would totally eat it. But let me know what you guys would do in the comments below. My name is Kevin, and I like to talk about things that I find interesting. Take care of yourself because I would love to have you for dinner.